Hi everyone, it's Meg here. You maybe know me in real life or from my other channel or the internet somewhere, but if you don't, hi, it's nice to meet you. I am aware that I do not look very glamorous. I am in pajamas and I'm in bed, but that's kind of what this video is about. Whew, okay. I don't like looking weak, so I never thought I would put something out like, well, I never thought any of this would happen to me, but it did, so yeah, I thought I would try to, I didn't even say what this was, did I? Okay. Hi, I'm Meg. I have 4 chronic illnesses and 4 physical chronic illnesses and anxiety and possible depression. Yay! Okay. We got that out of the way. This channel is mostly going to be focusing on my physical chronic issues, not so much mental, but I did want to put that out there because I'm very tired of the stigma around mental illness and how it has to be like some sort of shameful secret. It's not really different than any of my other conditions, just up here instead of anywhere else in my body, you know? But yeah, so I'm hoping to kind of document what I go through and share some tips and things like that. I will link a couple channels that kind of inspired me to do this because it was really helpful when I first got diagnosed to see them and know that I wasn't alone. Okay, so I'm assuming you know what anxiety and depression are, but if you don't, it can be caused by outside or inside factors. Mine is mostly inside. Serotonin is the so-called happy chemical. My brain doesn't produce enough of it, and this also causes me to have panic attacks, which are super not fun, but it's been getting better. I was diagnosed with this about a year and a half ago, I guess, but I probably had it for much longer. I just kind of pretended everything was fine because it's kind of scary at first to say that you maybe have something going on health-wise. But anyway, on to the physical stuff. So physical, yeah. A little bit of backstory. I hadn't been feeling really well for most of last semester, so in the summer, so I guess that's starting around June or July, let's say. And I got a lot of tests done. There was thoughts of me having a bleeding disorder, so I saw a lot of hematologists, and they discovered I was anemic or almost anemic. So that's where this all started. When the semester started, I was seeing a hematologist, and so when the semester started, I was seeing a hematologist and was taking iron and getting lots of blood tests, and I mean a lot of blood tests. I once got 12 vials drawn in one sitting. Anyway, so to try and see if I had a bleeding or clotting disorder. It turns out I don't, but I got poked with a lot of needles. We'll say that. But something wasn't right. I was exhausted all the time, the iron wasn't helping, and I was in a lot of pain. So they decided to give me iron infusions, which went terribly, terribly wrong. I will probably make another video about my experiences in the emergency room and with those iron infusions, but let's just say it didn't go well at all. So then they decided it probably wasn't something hematological, it's a hard word. And around this point, I also started getting twitches, which I don't like talking about because it's kind of embarrassing to me. It shouldn't be, but it is. So basically, parts of my body sometimes move without me doing it. So my hands shake all the time, but for example, a foot will move or some muscle will move randomly in my body. We don't really know why. I haven't got an explanation. It just still happens. I'll be lying in bed and my foot will kick or something, and I'll just be like, I didn't do that, but it happened. So yeah, once that started happening, I went to the emergency room because I was freaked out, as I think anyone would be. And I went to see a neurologist, and he did some tests, and I didn't appear to be anything neurological. I still had all of my cognitive functions. That was fine. So we were left with a pretty big question mark, and we started looking into rheumatology, but the rheumatologists at the hospital nearest to me are extremely booked and understaffed, so I couldn't get an appointment at all. I went to a GP here, a general practitioner, just average doctor, and she suggested maybe fibromyalgia, but she wasn't sure. I'll explain what all of this is in a minute. I'm just kind of giving some backstory. So anyway, when I went home to Wisconsin for Christmas, my mom got me an appointment with a rheumatologist where she goes to see a rheumatologist because my mom has rheumatoid arthritis. And that's when I got my diagnosis, and my mom and I went to get a manicure to celebrate. You wouldn't think getting diagnosed with 4 chronic conditions would be a reason to celebrate, but it takes away the question mark, so that's nice. So, what do I have? I'm going to link to some websites or definitions about each of these because I'm not a doctor or medical professional, but I can tell you basically, I guess. My first condition, and probably the most serious of the 4, is something called Ehlers-Danlos syndrome, or EDS. I have a hypermobility type, and it is classified as benign. So EDS is a connective tissue disorder, and it's really rare. People who have it are called zebras because only 1 out of 5,000 people have it. So I think that's something like 0.02% of the population. I'm not sure. But it's so rare that a lot of doctors didn't know that it existed. I'm really lucky because everyone I've seen has. Props to my hematologist for suggesting this at the beginning of this whole process, which I kind of denied because one of the YouTubers I watch a lot, Martina from Eat Your Kimchi, has it and she's super flexible, and I didn't think I was. Anyway, so EDS is a connective tissue disorder, which means your body doesn't want to stay together, basically. So EDS is a connective tissue disorder, which means that your body doesn't really want to stay together. People with my type, which is hypermobility, are generally super flexible. I don't have it to the extent of some people. I cannot bend my fingers or wrists completely backwards. I can't do acrobatic stuff, I guess, like the splits or whatever. But my ankles can go really far. So for example, your ankle's here, right? I can turn mine so it's more than a 90-degree angle to the outside of my body. I can also flip my elbow to be pointing straight at the screen. I can touch my shoulder blades together. I'm not going to show you any of this because just because I can do it doesn't mean I should. It actually damages the joints and things more, so people with EDS are encouraged not to do these party tricks because it just makes things worse. Now, people with EDS generally have tons of dislocations, which I don't. I am very thankful for this. Some people have it really severely where they wake up in the morning and just put their body back together. I don't have this, but it does seem to cause some pain and general discomfort, which isn't great, let's be honest, but it could be worse. Okay, second condition might come from EDS or from the anemia, I don't really know. It's called POTS, which is post-orthostatic tachycardial syndrome. I'm very bad at remembering that name. Basically, when you go from a lying down position to a standing position, your veins constrict so that the blood goes back from your feet up to your head. And that's how you function. Mine doesn't do that. So if I get up really quickly, let's say, I will get very lightheaded and dizzy, and I will see stars, and I might fall. I haven't passed out yet, which happens to some people with POTS, but it's not a fun experience. So I have to get up slowly, which I hate because I'm used to doing things quickly. It also randomly can happen. So yesterday my heart was just really, really elevated to the point where my chest was hurting, and I was dizzy even though I was sitting down. I have no idea why. It went on for about an hour. It's the joy of chronic illnesses. It just happens. So that's POTS. Okay, number 3 is fibromyalgia. Fibromyalgia is weird because a lot of people have it, but there's not much known about it. Basically, we don't know why it's caused, but what we do know is that something happens to your pain receptors, so in your nerves that make you feel things. like feel pain. And they go haywire, and they basically tell your body you're in pain. All the time. Even if you're not. There's no reason for you to be in pain, but you are, and so you feel it. So your nerves are telling your body, pain, 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 pain. And then you hurt. Yeah, that's fibro, so that's not great. Fibromyalgia also has sensitive spots, so I don't remember them to be honest, but certain spots, if you put pressure on, they'll hurt a lot more. For me, for example, under where if you kind of poke under my ribs and where where my ribs meet my throat, I guess, it hurts a lot. Even if you just press like this, it will hurt. I'm not going to do it now because it hurts a lot. And it stays like that for a while. There's no reason for it. It just does. Fourth condition is called Raynaud's disease. I don't know why it's called a disease because that makes it sound much worse than it is. The rheumatologist described it to me as your body wants to conserve heat, so it decides you don't need hands and feet anymore. So part of POTS is that your body doesn't always regulate its temperature. And that kind of goes with Raynaud's. So sometimes my body decides it's freezing, and so it cuts off the blood flow to your hands and feet, or to your extremities in general, and then they turn blue and are really cold. So, for example, I was about 20 minutes ago, I took a shower, right? Right before that, I looked down and said, oh, my feet are purple and numb. I'm inside an apartment. It's perfectly warm. There's no reason for that to happen. But it did. Other random facts, it's quite rare that you'll see my hair like this because my hair is falling out a lot. I don't know if you can see. Probably not, but I can see, basically. It falls out a lot. It's very thin now. I used to have quite thick hair. And my eyebrows also appear to be falling out, so I usually wear a wig. But, you know, trying to be honest and all that, so this is what it looks like now. I also use a cane because I had a couple instances where my legs gave out and I just fell, which was terrifying. So the cane makes me feel more secure. I met with a cardiologist, and his advice for me, and this is a quote, was, don't fall in public because people will make fun of you. So that was helpful. Oh yes, and why am I in bed and things like that? I have some type of virus, and if you have a chronic illness already and you get sick, it's going to be worse. So I have been out of commission since Tuesday, I guess. Today is Sunday. I will not be going to school on Monday either. And sometimes it's hard for me to hold my head up like it is right now, so I have it propped up like this. Also, side note, this is a Zoom given to me by my friend Laura. It's those little Disney things. They're usually this big, but she found a big one. This is the best thing ever to keep my head, like, supported. It's great. It's magical. Thank you, Laura. So that's about it for this intro video. Sorry for the camera angles. I'm holding my iPad on my legs because I don't have a tripod and I'm not going to find one now. But I hope this kind of gives you an idea of what I'm going to try to do. As I said, I'm going to chart my progress with what kind of medications I take, what kind of therapy I do, physically mostly, what helps me, what doesn't help me, tips for surviving as somebody with chronic illnesses, how to manage your time and things like that. I'll explain more in a later video, things that you should have, and that sort of thing. I'm hoping this will kind of help me regain my confidence about the whole thing, I guess. Help other people who have similar conditions. And honestly, it's something fun to do when I'm stuck in bed, because when you've been stuck in bed for many days, it's really boring. So yeah, that's all for now, but I hope you guys are having a great day or night or whatever time it is, and I will see you soon. Bye!